everything starts organic. I'm not guessing if the creative's good. I'm letting the AI algorithms show me that it's good. The algorithm only works by showing people stuff that they will like. Like if you go on my algorithm right now, it's just all Jets football, a little bit of wine, a little bit of business. You know this gotten good. You know this. All of you are like, oh, I'm getting rid of Facebook. They just showed a watch ad in front of me and I was just talking about a watch. It's listening to me. It wasn't listening to you. You've been liking and looking at watch content for the last week on the platform. Something that everyone needs to know is social media changed heavy in the last 3 years. For the first 15 years of social, it was email marketing. Get as many people to follow you as possible. And then every time you post, a certain percentage of those people would see it. That's what I was built on. Got millions of followers, percentage, build. In the last 3 years, and this is huge for the people in the room that have never done this or are just starting, this is wildly encouraging. I did not have the fortune of being able to say these things for 15 years on stage. The fact that tomorrow you can start and outflank everybody in the room is crazy. What happened 4 years ago, is TikTok came in. It used to be called Musical.ly if you had a high school daughter. It became TikTok, and it changed the way things were done. Instead of just posting to your people, when you post now, it could go anywhere based on people's interest of that content. So if you're making content of literally fixing people's windshields, installing, vinyling vans from a marketing standpoint, or protecting paint, installing for solar purposes in a building, whatever you do in here, if you make that content, the fact that that will reach people based on how much AI technology these social networks have, so you can post, have no followers. Literally most of you I know are probably not sitting with a TikTok account that you're pounding with content every single day, and you can post and it will reach people that might have interest of it. That is profound. That is profound. The fact that you can then take a video that does somewhat decent and run 25 or, let me say it, so I really need you to hear what I'm about to say. I'm very aware of what the majority of the businesses look like in this room. The fact you can post a video about how to or why this is good, whatever you want to do, we can go into that later. If it does decent and gets 500 views instead of 6, because you're just starting out, so now you know it's a little bit better content than the last one. And then you can take that video and post it on Facebook and spend $50 in media to amplify it within a 5-mile radius of your shop is profound. We are living in the best opportunity for small businesses to grow their business through marketing in the history of marketing, in the history of small business. $50. 50. Again, I'm trying to remind everybody about the LeBron thing or the people that stood up. You have to get good at this. All I'm asking is for 10 hours of research from all of you. Whether you read books or listen to podcasts or you're good at Google or you like ChatGPT, I don't know how you research. I can't read for shit, so I'd never read one of my fucking books. Others in here love it. Some love books, but they need to do audio. Some have gotten really into AI and like ChatGPT or Perplexity. I don't care how you do it. I just want 10 hours so you know what, at least the baseline of what I know, which is pictures and videos on social media, all 7 platforms. For how many people are in B2B here or going after B2B clients? Raise your hands. LinkedIn. LinkedIn today is what Facebook was 12 years ago. One more time, how many? Show hands, please. Everybody who's got their hand up right now, this company should post a video or a picture with copy supporting it every day on LinkedIn. Every day. Again, when I say you need to post on LinkedIn every single day, I promise you, one of my favorite things about speaking is watching your fucking faces react to the shit I say. The faces were like, wow, by working. At all times in business, there are ways to market that is a waste of money, and there are ways to market that is so underpriced it will explode your business. Social media is grossly underpriced, completely misunderstood, and can completely change your career. Regardless of what you think about social media, it's ruining the world, it's fucking up the kids. The reality is as business people, your subjective judgment of where people's attention is doesn't matter. Your obligation to build your business is what matters. Knowing there are people in this room who do not do advertising on social, which is disproportionately the driver of you selling more shit, more services, more opportunities, because of what they think about TikTok and China, or Twitter and Elon, or Facebook and Zucks, is why people like me continue to grow. Ideology of your subjective opinion has no business being in the arena of when you're trying to build your business based on what humans are actually doing, period. So what does that all mean? It means as we sit here today, most of you, no matter what you do day to day, hire people actually doing the physical labor, whatever it is you do on your 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hour, 90 hour work week, that 20% of that time should be made for you as the owner. And I don't want to hear this shit like, Gary, you don't get it. I'm 52, I didn't grow up with this shit, I don't get it. Well, you didn't grow up driving and you figured that out. I am not interested to come all the way, we're in Orlando. I didn't fucking come to Orlando to hear a room like this. You didn't come to this conference on a Thursday because you're complacent. You didn't come here because you're not interested in growing. Like, what are you doing here? If you're here at this conference, the last thing you should have is an excuse to why you're not doing it. You came here because you want to grow. Every person in this room, standing in the back, up here, left, right, every person in this room, in my personal, humble, one man's opinion, must allocate many more hours starting on Friday, tomorrow, to actually learn how pictures and videos and words work on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, so that people call you or email you or direct message you to buy your service. There is nothing you can do, not Google AdWords, not door knocking, not billboards, I don't want to hear, Gary, but I've been in the business for 25 years in my area, my word of mouth is awesome. That's great, it's nice. Then why are you here? Curious, by show of hands, who would like to do less business next year? Raise your hands. That. So if you're sitting here saying, cool, this guy seems interesting, this is all fine, but I'm not doing the social media thing, you are asking to do less business. Attention, eyes and ears is the only thing that matters. You can't tell me how epic your service is, or how cool your squeegee is, or how rad your service is, if I don't hear it or see it. It is literally like if I was giving this keynote next door in a room with no one in it. We must understand that attention has moved to this device as primary. I also need you to understand something else before we get into it. What is the ROI, the return on investment, of a basketball for LeBron James? I'll give you the answer. Billions. The return on investment of a basketball for LeBron James is billions of dollars. For me, negative 50,000. I've had 2 surgeries on my meniscus. I've not made a fucking penny playing basketball. Negative 50K, maybe more with the time spent on fucking having the heel on the meniscus for 7 hours. There are many people here, actually, this is a very important question based on what I'm starting to say. Raise your hand if you've done some advertising, probably on Facebook and Twitter, but it didn't really work for your business, which makes sense. I mean, this should be very common. Raise your hands. So these individuals I'm particularly concerned about because they're similar to me with basketball. They have spent money and efforts on social media, but it has not been particularly good for their business. It's because they suck at it. This is important to understand. Many of the people that stood up said, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work for you because you weren't good enough at it. You hired the wrong person. You trusted your 23-year-old niece because young kids do it. You yourself gave a role, but instead of building brand, you're just a salesman and you went right in for the fucking sale and nobody wanted to just reply to that. And I can give you the other 7,000 reasons that the people that just stood up did not get return on investment. It's called being good at it. Before we get into the Q&A and all the stuff, I need you to understand the opposite. How many people here have made content and done things on social media and it has worked for their business? Raise your hand. Actually stand up. This is the only thing I'm passionate about today. Please sit. That visual, and knowing, with all due respect, because fuck, I'm at the tippy top of this game. I run an agency today that has 3,000 people in it, globally, all over the world. We're a $350 million a year business. I have tons of other companies that completely run in this currency. I got a lot of shit going on. I sit way at the tippy top of this game for the last 20 years, and I can tell you right now, I could take the rest of this keynote telling you everything I'm doing wrong on social media. It's fucking hard. I get it. But just to remind everybody, everything great is hard. Everybody wants this to be easy when it's the single most important thing. Of course it's hard. I'm gonna say it slow. Everything that is actually good is hard. So I come here today very focused on this Thursday. Two things are my focus. One, to spend as much time on Q&A with all of you right now to go into the details on how to make a picture or a video or spend media dollars on Facebook to get customers, on TikTok to get, I am obsessed to leave with 6 or 7 of you taking something from here and acting on it. Because I've learned after 15 years, most of you will listen today, get it, be pumped, and then do nothing about it. So I'm focused on 2 things today. Getting some of the people here to really focus on this marketing. That's number 2. And the number 1 thing I'm focused on today is getting the hell out of here, flying to New York, and watching my New York Jets beat the shit out of the New England Patriots. Ooh, it sounds like there's some Patriot fans in that room. Bandwagon boys. The thing that I love coming to stuff like this, and this is why I said yes to it, you worked to get here. Something happens when you build a little something. Some people start to get a little less worky. Some people get a little complacent. Some people start to take their foot off the pedal. That's fine. I promise you, I have no interest in judging your ambition. I'm just telling you that if you're not doing it, someone else is going to. And I need you to know that. Here's why. It seems upfront until you start doing it. Think about anything you've done in your life, right? Has anybody here grown up in a way where they like working out and then they finally figured it out and it works for them now? Just raise your hand. I'm one of those people, actually. For those people, remember how hard it was to actually, all those years when you're like, this sucks, I hate it, and then it switches. I really believe that this was exactly what I'm talking about today with marketing. I know a lot of you like, don't like the computers, or I don't like social, or I don't get it, but I'm telling you, the passion you hear in my voice is because 8-10 years ago, what I was telling you was an opportunity. Today, when I stand in front of you, it's a borderline warning. Private equity firms are gonna come into this industry and buy up a bunch of these companies and consolidate them. They will market. 18-year-old Garys are growing up in families around here, and they're gonna walk into their mommy and daddy's business and they will market. This is too easy when you understand what I'm saying to not do it. It doesn't cost $1 million. I'll say it again. I want you to post, I literally want you to make a video and be like, I'm fucking Ron, this is my shit, this is what we do, we love you, Ohio, yay. Post it. And then if God willing, for some reason you were funny or you wore a shirt or it was just your moment or you used the right adjective or the right analogy and that video does, I want you to spend $50 to $100 to amplify it with media in a 5 or 10 mile radius of your business. That will work. Literally, if I stop talking now, left, because my flight had an issue and I have to be at the Jets game. And everybody here just did that. Just made a video every day and posted it on social media, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, with some copy, your phone number, your email, and spent $50 amplifying it in a 5 or 10 mile radius. And the reason I keep saying that, because I haven't broken that down, is when you post on social, it can go anywhere, right? So if you didn't hear the full context here and you post and it gets 10,000 views, but you get no business, you're like, what happened, Gary? I'd be like, well, the videos were watched in Kansas, Dawn, and you're in New Jersey and nobody's coming to your store. So these are the levels of details that I'm passionate about. This is the opportunity, and it is bigger than ever, period. There's more people on these platforms than ever. The ability to never have done it before and break out is finally here because of what happened on TikTok is now everywhere. I'm sure a lot of you, whether you use social media for business or pleasure, realize that the algorithm's different now, right? Some of you, by the way, I get 25 DMs a day from people saying, oh, GaryVee, I just saw your video on Instagram. I haven't seen you for 6 months. I forgot about you. I'm pumped I got to see it. I'm like, motherfucking Instagram, but the algorithm. This is where we're at. And so you're seeing that as well, and this is actually the opportunity room. So there's a ton of opportunity. It's very real, and my main overall concern is that people don't understand it. Again, I'll be honest with you, I'm getting pretty close to just going right into Q&A. Actually, they asked me to shoot this cannon. I feel like I should do that, right? How do I fucking do this shit? Who wants one? This is a lot more fun than I thought. Let me just try this one. Cannon. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Who wants this shit? Oh! That was a huge fucking drop. Huge fucking drop. All right, that's it. Sorry, we're down. Sorry, they're just t-shirts. All right, here we go. Before I get into Q&A, there's other things I want to talk about. For example, let me give you a for instance that I think this industry has completely wrong. When customers give you negative reviews on Google, you don't delete them, asshole. Because they screenshot it and then they call you out for trying to manipulate the market. What you do instead is you reply and say, hey, Ronnie Pants 49. Sorry about this. This doesn't sound like what we thought happened. Here's my email and my phone number. Please call us. We would love to solve it. Me seeing that is a lot more exciting than you deleting it. Understood? There's a lot of devils to the details. The top line I want to get away with here is, it's kind of like, make pretend this was a health and fitness thing. My top line is, hey, guys, gals, if you eat like shit, and you don't exercise, and you fucking vape and do all the wrong things, you're gonna die earlier. Eat well and exercise and good things will happen. Of course, I'm aware that a coconut can hit you in the head and you'll die, but you'll have a better percentage of that not happening. That's what I'm telling you here. In 2024, going into 2025, tech companies, big companies that are bigger than you, we know what we're talking about, and the consolidation that is about to happen in this industry, and the youngsters that are coming up in these family businesses are gonna take your money. So let me ask this question before we go, and then we're ready to rock. On this top line thesis, before we go into the devils of the details, how many people are planning on retiring in the next 5 years? Not because you're gonna crush it and buy a private jet, but because you're old and you're finished. Raise your hands. Okay, so for the 8 of you, you could take some level of what I'm talking about with a grain of salt. You might be able to hold on by holding your breath and crossing your fingers and doing the same shit and just go into fucking fishing and golf. But for the rest of you, I'm gonna say it slow again. 5, 10 years ago when I talked about all this stuff in all those other books, it's all the same shit, it's just tweaked to the realities of the world we now live in. It was a luxury of growth. As I stand with you in Orlando today, it is still a luxury of growth, but if you don't do it, it's about to become the beginning of your demise. You will lose market share. Some of you already know you have. So if we're here, let's get serious about the one thing. Look, you have to manage employees, and I wanna go into that. I mean, 12 and a half, I mean, how you build a good culture, how do you retain people, how do you not have people like build them up and then they start their own business? Like, I would love to talk to you about all the dynamics you're dealing with. But out of all the things you do for a living, understanding how to do proper marketing will have the biggest impact on the paycheck you take home, period. Thank you.
We've hired 3 to 4 different social media companies to handle it for us because we know enough to be dangerous, but we don't know enough to really get to what we need to get to.
Heard.
We're on our 4th one now, and she doesn't push Facebook, and she doesn't push Twitter. She's all about Google Ads, which based on what I heard from you, it seems like she's probably not the right person.
Well, you know what's funny? To her credit, Google Ads is sales, not marketing. The reason she's pushing Google Ads is she doesn't want you to fire her like you did the last 3, and you can measure Google Ads, right? So I actually think she's being smart. I think this is a game of and. I'm not telling anyone here to stop Google Ads. In fact, if you rewind my talk, I told a lot of people that didn't raise their hand to do Google Ads. But don't be twisted. Google Ads is not marketing. Google Ads is selling. Someone types in, I need to fix my windshield, enter, you show up. That's not marketing, that's transacting. So I think, she's not doing social media, she's doing digital media. If she was doing marketing, or you were, or if we were in the office right now, I would explain to you why YouTube Shorts would help your Google AdWords, because if you're this deep in it, you know what your CAC is on your conversion on Google AdWords. You know that for every $219, you get a customer. I know that if you posted a video every day on YouTube Shorts, in 6 months, that $219 would go down to $113.
Gotcha. Cool.
Cool? And let me finish that story. The reason it would go down to 113 is when people decide to buy from Google Ads, they buy on things they know. Sometimes it's just convenience, the first one. Sometimes it's a good headline, free shipping or whatever. But a lot of times it's because they know it. The more they know your business, the more they will convert. The more you put out brand, the more people know it. That's why I love being out in front, because there's nothing bigger of a brand or more ownable than your face. Sir.
What suggestions or ideas or thoughts do you have around, on the manufacturing side, the amplification, the enablement, things that we can do to help our customers in this room, grow their social presence?
So let's hold on to the mic. Are you saying that you're interested in actually helping them grow their audience if they're your exclusive retailers?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, helping them amplify to the car owner, right?
I mean, the answer is money and strategy. Like, what can you do? You can give them $1,000 a month for media amplification of content that you approve. You could. Oh, they like that. Another thing you can do is you can make content that they can green screen, right? So a lot of people here are gonna ask me in this line, but what do I make? But here's the good news. A lot of you consume social media content. So one of my favorite pieces of content, especially for a crew like this, is taking a headline from an article and then just talking over it. You guys know what I mean by green screen, where people talk over like articles in the back? You usually see it for politics or pop culture, but you could do it for your industry. So you could make articles, right, content with like important headlines that you then email to all the people in this database, right?
Yeah.
And tell them now green screen over this, like this new technology or stuff. So there's a lot of ways you can bring value. It comes down to executing against that beautiful intent.
Yeah, well, if anybody's interested, let's talk.
Well, I'm interested in a free $1,000 a month. Thanks, brother.
I have a question about what type of content marketing strategy do you recommend to get in front of general contractors who may not be social media savvy or get on social media much?
There's 2 ways I would think about that. First and foremost, for sure, LinkedIn's targeting against contractor job descriptions is real. Now, to your point, Do I think general contractors, especially solo or small ones, are in LinkedIn all day? They're not, right? But you still gotta test it to see. Number two, by far my favorite move on this one, I'm gonna give you a very, very clever move that I think a lot of you should use. I think you should market to the children of the contractors. You in a video where it says, is your dad a general contractor? And the opening line is like, hey kids, is your dad a general contractor? He needs to know this because he'll make more money and he'll buy you a new car. Got it? Shit like that. So one of the things that people don't think enough about is marketing to someone who can pass it on to someone.
Thank you, Gary.
You got it, brother.
Thank you everyone for being here. Squeeze that.
Just want to say, you completely changed the way I did business. We made 301 on the Inc. 5000 list just this year, so we're on track to do 8 figures, purely from implementing what you had said.
Sir, if you could just repeat that one time slowly.
So I went
And go a little more detail, because very frank, I just realized that I should sit down and go home because I know how humans work. I'm talking and people are listening. However, you're of this.
Sure.
You've been listening to it and you just said 8 figures. That means $10 million plus. I have a funny, how many people here would like to do $10 million plus next year? Raise your hands. Great. So I have a funny feeling if I give you the floor with a little detail that you may be the single reason we get this accomplished, which is my goal today, which is that just like you just did for me, because you can imagine how good that makes me feel. Yep. I'm predominantly here to get emails or messages on social in 3 years from people in this room saying, you changed everything for me, this is epic. So break that down. What was it or how was it? Break it down a little bit because this is gonna be valuable.
Yeah, so probably the instance, so just for background, we sell websites and SEO to PPF, to detailing businesses, but specifically what Gary said that I had listened to and just didn't get through my thick head for a couple of years was get in front of a camera and just start being real and educate and serve people.
Right, don't sell, right? Again, let me give you the single best thing you can do, single best video, because we're gonna now play a little bit here, that a lot of you can do. If the video started with, hey, do you have a cracked windshield? Let me teach you how not to come to my company and charge you for it and fix it. That is the single best ad you can make.
Yeah, so when someone comes to us for a website, we will ask them, why should we not do a website for you today?
Yes.
What is the reason you really need us? Can we fix it without us being?
Yes.
And
by the way, and fucking mean it. Like what I just told you there was no, notice how it got real quiet? It was almost like everyone was waiting for like, and then what? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to sell a website where they don't really need it.
Period.
It's real. So I was hoping you could talk to.
Please.
These are my customers, right?
Yes.
And the thing that worked for me greatly, and obviously everything you have a lot of great knowledge, and what worked for me personally was just shutting up, getting on camera, and teaching. And I think what a lot of these people might have is they're not struggling of getting maybe on camera potentially, but maybe what to say.
Correct.
And I was wondering,
let's talk about it. Everybody here would have an unlimited flow of employees for the rest of their career if they made a video every day teaching the craft. Literally teaching. Hey, I'm John, I've been in this business for 15 years. Here's my video, I'm gonna show you how to actually do it so you can start your own business. People, bro, this is church.
Yeah.
Life is fucking church. Like you fucking do good shit for people, I have a good news for you. Good shit will happen for you. There was something I told my sister, not to throw her under the bus because she's my favorite, but after, she's 3 years younger than me. This was about 7 years ago, so I'm 41 at the time. So after about 35 years of us jamming together, I finally just was on a call with her one day and I said, Liz, I was like, I got a new concept. Everything you think, just do the reverse. And we reference it a lot because it was obviously like a little tongue in cheek, but there were certain things she did and it's like actually been meaningful for her life. I will tell you that this moment, what I'm trying to tell you, if you're getting the energy of the room right now, the less selling you do and the more value you do in environments that you thought historically were selling environments will actually get you more money. bring value in your content. It could be anything. By the way, there's people that do business with me because I'm a Jets fan. There's people that do business with me because I like wine. There's people that do business with me because I fuck with sneakers. Like, you don't have to just make glass content. Talk about golf. Talk about the local, here's a fucking brain twist. If you review, how many of you have like a really good deli in the general area that everybody fucks with? It's like the best deli in the area. Raise your hand. Raise it. I just want to see how many. For the 11 of you, make a video reviewing the fucking deli hoagie of choice, post it, and watch people in the general area become aware of you, click who you are, because they're like, yeah, I like that sandwich too, and like, oh, he does glass repair? I need a windshield replacement. A fucking hoagie video will lead to business.
Or hold the hoagie while you're tinting and say, what's wrong with this picture?
100%.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome. Thank you, brother. Congrats.
I just wanted to ask your advice on what's the best way to deal with someone who trolls you online and spouts lies about you and trashes your reputation.
Great question. My friends, the only people that an active troll who's trashing you trashes your reputation with is people you don't want to do business with anyway. Let me start and say it nice and slow for all the people that clapped for that question, because I want to take fear out of your body. The only people that believe a troll. Now, when again, prepping for this, when I looked at some reviews, I got bad news. If 37 people are giving you 1 star, you suck. They're not a troll, they're right. You're a fucking troll, fix your fucking business. That's number one. Number two, I know, especially local business, get overly fixated. They got like 68 4s and 5s, and then they get a 1, and they're all bent out of shape. They're not putting you out of business. I told you again, what do I do with trolls, especially for the first 15 years of my life? I don't think of them as trolls. I think of them as one of two people. One, they're actually right and they had bad experience and I need to fix it. How about we do that? We've gotten lazy and have labeled people trolls instead of being accountable and fixing our shit. That's number one. Or number two, they're a very sad person. They're hurting and they're taking it out on you, and so they're trying to tear you down. In both scenarios, I'm approaching it with compassion, sympathy, empathy, and accountability. If people see that you're replying every time, saying, I'm here, this is my email, I would like to fix this, you've got to give me the details. I've never heard about this. This is not like us. Let's talk. You will not be hurt. So again, I need people here to first be accountable, deliver on their intent. And if it's, God forbid, something egregious, and the more you grow, the more you'll get it, honestly, and this is just another thing for people that don't want to put themselves out there, when people, can I break this down for you? Could you imagine living a life where you go around the internet and social media and try to talk shit about people? It's a sad life. I'm not mad at these people. I feel bad for these people. So I really think that's the answer. We need to be more accountable, first and foremost. And second, we need to be public in our responses to these negative reviews. It will help your business tremendously. In fact, many people, the data's pretty clear to me on this, many people actually prefer to work with a business that has a couple of bad reviews and they responded to it than something that's fully 5-starred, because we become so cynical that we don't even fucking believe all the 5 stars. I'm starting to think about putting 1 star in some of my own shit just to get it. I'm serious. I'm like, wine library. I'm like, Dad, your store sucks. I'm being serious here. There's like a real opportunity for us to be a little more human. So that's my answer. But I'm telling you, I watched your faces. A lot of you deep down know. How about being accountable? Maybe one of your employees did mess up. My employees, I mess up every day, let alone my employees. Sometimes our companies make mistakes. Let's own them. That would be good for your business. Cool.
When you were talking about putting money into videos, I just want to know, do you let your videos grow organically first, or do you put the money into it right away?
I do all organic. Like I said earlier, Jackson, everything starts organic. I'm not guessing anymore like I did for the first 15 years of social. I'm not guessing if the creative's good. I'm letting the AI algorithms show me that it's good. The algorithm only works by showing people stuff that they think it will be good for, that they will like. Like if you go on my algorithm right now, it's just all fucking Jets football, a little bit of wine, a little bit of business. Like these things, this shit has gotten good. You know this, all of you are like, oh fuck, I'm getting rid of fucking Facebook. They just showed a watch ad in front of me and I was just talking about a watch. It's listening to me. You guys are all fucking conspiracy theorists. It wasn't listening to you, you've been fucking liking and looking at watch content for the last fucking week on the platform. So, no, I do everything now. The best practices of the last 2-3 years is everything's organic. Then if there's an over-indexing or virality, then it gets media, like that gentleman with the Lakers hat. Then I tweak it to make, I don't really do, for my world, I don't do much boosting, but for Wine Library I do. So we put out wine content. If something does well, even though it might be a video teaching everybody here why stop drinking fucking Santa Margarita Pinot Grigio, it's garbage, and here's a better Pinot Grigio. But we may add copy to make more business sales after it does well as organic brand. Got it?
Thank you.
That's been a big shift, you know what I mean, Jackson? It's because, Jackson, the other thing, just so you know, is, as you know, best performance marketing pre-iOS 14.5, they changed the targeting capabilities. So now the all variant testing of like 5 different things, seeing which one has the best, that changed. So now building on brand, it just will really work. I apologize, I'm so sorry, bro. I have to run, thank you. Look, on some real shit, thank you. Thank you.